Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to share with you top 10 tips. This is on how to get your dream job. This is a very, very exciting video, and I'm sure many of you are waiting to hear, how to get to your dream job that you've been looking for all your life. This is so important that I cannot emphasize how critical it is, because your job satisfaction, your family satisfaction, your future income, everything depends on it. Okay, so what I recommend strongly is you know pay a lot of attention to these 10 tips that I'm giving out. you know this is a really, really critical, and it's based on a lot of experience that I have gathered in my career over the years, and I'm really sharing with you to help you, because I really want to help all the people out there. I'm seeing how much suffering and how much tragedy is out there today. How many people are unemployed, how many people are getting furloughed or laid off on a daily basis. Believe me, I have been there, and I know how painful that is, okay, on the family, okay, and how painful it is, especially on the person making the income, when he or she gets laid off, especially when he or she knows that the whole family depends on it. So on one hand, you need to get a job. You need to get a job that you know gives you enough money. On the other hand, also, you need to get a job that gives you job satisfaction. So many cases, you have to get that dream job that you love, okay, that'll be fulfilling for you. Okay, so before I get to those 10 tips, which I'll get to in a few minutes, and again, I'll give you some work to do, some action, call to action towards the end of this video. But before I get to that, I want to tell you that you must take charge of your career, okay? As if your life depends on it, as if your family's future depends on it, which actually is the case, most probably, okay? So take charge, okay? Take control of your career development, okay? For a career shift, if that's what you have in mind, okay, prepare yourself for that transition that's coming up, okay? It takes time. Believe me, it's hard work. It's not easy, okay? But at the end of the day, if you do everything right, it should bring you exactly what you're looking for. It'll bring you a lot of happiness and a lot of success, and it'll be very fulfilling again for you and your family. So work on it. Make a daily schedule, okay? Spend some time, okay, every day on this, okay, to work at it on each day. Don't procrastinate, okay? You must start now, okay? All right. With that, let me get to tip number one. Tip number one, again, this is my top 10 tips. So I'm starting with one. Okay, you should start with an honest to goodness self-assessment. Okay, I mentioned that in some of my other videos also before. Self-assessment is absolutely key. Okay, you have to ask yourself, what skills do you have? Okay, what are your hard skills? Okay, by hard skills I mean, can you do Excel? Can you do data crunching? Can you develop software? Okay, can you do coding? Okay, those are your hard skills. And also you have to know, what are your soft skills. Soft skills means, okay, can you manage something? Okay, can you sell? Okay, can you come across as a especially in a selling job, a very charming person that people like to talk to. Okay, people like to get along with. Okay, are you are you a good leader? Okay, are you a good manager? Those are all soft skills. Okay, your people skills. Okay, so make a list of your hard skills and your soft skills. Okay, you have to know them, because they may come up in the interview, but also the more you know yourself, the more you know about your own hard skills and soft skills, that'll help you in getting there. Okay, you have to ask yourself, what would give you job satisfaction? Okay, you don't want to just apply to any job out there. Okay, we're talking about dream job. We're talking about something that's going to make you happy. Okay, we're talking about something that's going to be fulfilling. Okay, so you have to know what is a meaningful job for you. Okay, jot them down. Jot down your skills. Jot down, what is a meaningful job for you on a piece of paper. Okay, or of course on the computer. Okay, so that was number one. Number two is You should ask yourself, okay, why should anybody hire you? Okay, what do you have to offer? Okay, there are so many candidates out there, okay, looking for a job. Okay, there are so many candidates who are applying for the same job as yourself. Okay, so what do you have to offer in this very, very competitive market? Okay, when unemployment is so high in US and even in the rest of the world. Okay, so ask yourself that question. Why should anybody hire you? And prepare an answer. And again, write it down on a piece of paper or on the computer. Okay, why anybody should hire you? Is it because of your experience? Is it because of your, education? Okay, what are you bringing to the table? Okay, this is something that employers are going to, wonder. So you have to have a very good answer about that, just from the get-go, from the very beginning. Okay, what do you have to offer to them? Okay, why should they hire you instead of hiring someone else? Okay, number three, be open and be honest with the hiring manager about your skills and your experience. Okay, don't hide, don't try to fudge anything. Okay, be totally honest. Okay, why? Because if you hide something, if you lie, if you fudge something, there's a very good chance you'll get caught. In this day and age, HR managers and hiring managers, through their computer, through their search engines, can find out a lot about you. Okay, what have you written in terms of blogs, in LinkedIn, in Facebook, or what have you posted in Instagram or other places? So they can find a lot of information about you. So please don't hide, please don't lie. Okay, be totally honest. You have to show your integrity. Okay, and that's what people like about you. Okay, when they see that you are really honest and you're really coming across as somebody with a lot of integrity. Okay, be upfront about your skills. Okay, we just talked about what skills, hard skills and soft skills you have. Okay, you already made a list, so be upfront about it. And you might be a beginner in some areas, in some skills, so mention that. And in some areas you're really an expert, mention that as well, of course. Okay, don't portray yourself as something you are not. Okay, again, it's very, very important that you be totally honest and totally upfront. Number four, network, network, network. Okay, some people think this is almost the most important tip, okay, that I can give you. Okay, network, network, network. In other words, you have to reach out on a regular basis to people that you are connected to, that you have worked with in the past, your former colleagues, your maybe alumni at universities or colleges or high school. Reach out, talk to them. Okay, again, this takes time. Okay, but you have to make that time. If you're looking for your dream job, if you're looking for that job satisfaction, okay, again, especially in this market, okay, you have to reach out, you have to touch base with your friends, say, hi, how you doing? Okay, hope you're doing well, hope you're staying safe in this market, okay, in a climate. Reach out, people like that. Okay, don't just call them up and say, can you give me a job? No, that's not the way to do it. Okay, reach out, touch base, see how they're doing, ask them how their family is doing, how their kids are doing, how the dog is doing, or whatever. Okay, start a conversation. Make sure that you're genuinely interested in them and you want to keep in touch with them. Okay, so do some initial chit chat for a while, and then you bring up the point that you are looking for a job, and maybe they can help you. Okay, or they can point you towards somebody who is hiring. Okay, ask them, do they know anyone who is hiring? But not right off the bat. Okay, again, as I mentioned, start a conversation, touch base, do some chit chat for a while. Okay, send a few text messages, send a few emails, and then bring up the issue that, hey, you know what, I'm looking for a job. Okay, as I just mentioned. Number five, highlight your past accomplishments with numbers in the resume. Okay, you have to mention that, okay, I did cost cutting, okay, saved the company so much revenue, maybe $5 million in last year. Okay, save the company 30% of their expenses. Okay, through cost cutting or cost deferral. Okay, improve the productivity of your division by 10% or 20%. So again, don't fudge. Come up with the actual numbers. Okay, if you don't know the numbers, try to find out what the numbers were. Okay, if you can. Okay, or at least try to do a guess. But it has to be fairly accurate guess. Don't just come up with some outrageous numbers or some outliers, which the HR managers or the hiring managers are going to catch. Okay, don't do that. Come up with some good guesses, or if you know the numbers, then put down those numbers. Okay, but you have to have some numbers, some quantitative data, okay, for your past accomplishments. Okay, don't just write some vague statement saying that I did this and I did that and I saved the company a lot of money. Okay, that's not good. You have to say, I saved the money, I saved them so much money. Okay, $5 million, $2 million, whatever. Okay, and I showed so much, I created so much growth for the company. Again, not just so much growth, you have to say 10% growth every year for the last 3 years or something like that. Okay, so make sure you have those numbers in your resume. Show enthusiasm. That's number 6. Show enthusiasm. Okay, a lot of enthusiasm on this new position. Okay, tell them I would love to work for you guys because I've read about what you're doing. Because of all the exciting things that you guys are doing. I love that. Okay, so I would love to come and work for you guys, or maybe in other groups in your company, because this is exactly the type of company that I have been looking for. Okay, and I would love to work for any division that you think I would be a good fit for. So show that enthusiasm. Okay, show that you did a lot of research on the company and you know the company very well. And this is also very important during the interview. Okay, you have to come across as somebody who's very, very enthusiastic. Okay, about this position and about the company. Okay, then send your resume. Many people send the resume to a job board. Okay, they see the job being advertised in a job board, and then they send the resume to the job board. Okay, to Indeed or Monster or Career Builder or LinkedIn or others. That works, but unfortunately, the job boards are inundated with resume nowadays. Okay, and many of these positions are highly, highly competitive. Okay, and there are many, many people. Sometimes there are literally hundreds of people applying for the same position. Could be even more. Could be thousands also at times. Okay, so and many of these job boards lately are also, carefully scrutinizing every resume they are getting. Okay, for a match. So you may have, thought that okay, I send my resume to the job board and somebody will respond, but that may not happen because they may have looked at your resume for one reason or other. They didn't like something on your resume and they rejected you. So you got rejected right off the bat, and you didn't even get a response from any of the job boards because they generally don't respond in many cases because they get so many resumes. Okay, so you may have thought that you sent out the resume and you'll get a response, but you don't. Okay, so a good idea is, this is again tip number 7. Good idea is take the job, find out which company, try to take the job description, find out which company posted that job, then write to that company directly. Okay, what's even better is if you can write to somebody in that company. Okay, somebody who could be a hiring manager, who's at a executive level in the company. Write to that person saying, I recently came across a job description. You can even mention for this position. Okay, and here is my resume here, and here is, you can even talk about some of your work in a separate letter. You can include a cover letter. Either call them up or send a cover letter with all these details, but send it to a person, actual person. Okay, not at a junior level, maybe at least at a middle manager level or a senior level in the company. Okay, you will see that you can get much better results that way than sending the resume to a job board. Okay. Tip number 8, create a portfolio of your successful projects or your successful designs that you have done in the past. Okay, present them, those portfolios or list of projects to the hiring managers during the interview, or Sometimes it could be even better if you send it before the interview. Okay. During the interview, you can even ask them if you can show a working demo of one of your projects. People love that. Okay. When the candidate comes well prepared with a list of their portfolio that they are willing to show, or their demo of, or maybe a working demo of the project, okay, and know all the details of how this that project works, and can give details of that demo. That's fantastic. That's one way to beat all your competitors out there for the same position. Okay, so that's tip number 8. Tip number 9: read the job description very carefully. Identify all the major keywords and the top 5 or 6 job requirements that are mentioned in the job description. Okay. When I say identify major keywords, I really mean it. Try to highlight each and every keyword that are mentioned in the that's mentioned in the job description. Okay. And as I mentioned, the top 5 or 6 job requirements, those are very, very critical. Make sure you identify them. Make sure your resume matches those. That means try to include those keywords. I cannot, emphasize how important that is. It is a very, very crucial thing. Okay, you have to have those. Almost every keyword, every major keyword in the job description, you have to have that in your resume. Okay, to get selected for interview. Okay, to get shortlisted. Okay, for the interview. Make sure your resume closely matches the job description. Make sure those top 5 or 6 job requirements for the job requirements are reflected in your resume. Okay, try to show your problem-solving skills in the resume. Okay, on top of everything else that I just mentioned. Okay, because every business is looking for a good problem solver nowadays. Okay, otherwise they won't be posting a job. Okay, everybody loves a good problem solver. So show on top of those keywords and the job requirements that you have to match, make sure that you're showing your problem solving skills and portray yourself as a good problem solver. Okay, and apply to at least 10 jobs per week and follow up immediately if you get a positive response. Okay, and last tip, or tip number 10, again, this is a very, very important tip. That is, beat the ATS system. Okay, so what is the ATS system? ATS system is the applicant tracking system. Nowadays, when you apply to a company, okay, what happens is a human being or a hiring manager does not get to read your resume first. It goes to a computer. Okay, it is called applicant tracking system. Almost 75% of job applications are rejected by that computer. Okay, before they are seen by any human eyes. Okay, so 75% get rejected. Only 25% make it through the ATS system nowadays. Almost every company, every major company is using ATS system nowadays because they are getting so many resumes that it's not possible for a human being to do the first scanning. Okay, so it gets scanned by the ATS system. Then the other 25% that are not rejected, that are accepted by the ATS, goes to the HR manager, and HR managers generally spend about 5 to 6 seconds, not even a minute, on every resume. Okay, so that's the chance you got. Okay, and you have to make sure that you get, you're successful in beating the ATS system, and you're also successful in catching the HR manager's attention in that 5 or 6 seconds that he or she is going to spend on your resume. Okay, only then your resume will be forwarded to a hiring manager. Okay, who is going to take a little more time because that person really wants to hire a good candidate. So that person will spend a little more time, maybe a few more minutes, maybe 5 minutes or maximum 10 minutes on your resume. Sometimes they don't even do that. Okay, I have been to many interviews where I have seen the hiring manager didn't even read my resume before. Okay, during the interview, he or she started reading my resume. Okay, they just called me for the interview because the HR manager told them that I might be a good candidate. Okay, so this is how the real world is. Okay, but again, you got to beat the ATS system because that's where most of the people get rejected. Okay, almost 98% of Fortune 500 companies rely on ATS software. Okay, as the first as the first gatekeeper, the first hurdle, okay, that the candidates must overcome. And so how do you beat it? You beat it by having a ATS friendly resume. Okay, and how you can make your resume ATS friendly? You make sure that first of all you have the right file type for your resume. When you're sending a resume, okay, many ATS systems, you won't believe this, but many ATS systems can't even handle PDF files. Okay, so to be successful, many people think that if you want to beat the ATS system, just send a Microsoft Word file, okay, a .doc file, a .docx file, or even a .txt, a text file. Okay, plain text files are generally the best choice. Okay, they always get through ATS systems. Word files are also quite good. Okay, PDF files may or may not make it. Okay, through the ATS. Okay, depends on what a company's ATS system the HR manager is using. Okay, again, you don't want to get rejected, so that's why I would recommend that send a Microsoft Word file or a text file. Okay, don't put any important details in the header or the footer of your resume. Okay, put all the important details in the body of the resume. Don't make it a huge resume. Okay, 1 or 2 page long. That's it. Okay, and don't put any important information in the header or the footer. Okay, header or footer can have things like maybe your name or maybe the page number. Okay, or maybe a date. Okay, but don't put any important information in the header or footer of the resume or what is also called CV in many parts of the world. Again, optimize your resume with the right keywords, and as I mentioned in previous tips, the right keywords that are in the job description must also be there in your resume. All the right keywords, okay, and all the top 5 or 6 job requirements have to be there, okay. And then don't put images, charts, tables, or other graphics, okay, in the resume, okay. I just talked about bringing a portfolio. Yes, you can bring a portfolio, but if you're going to send a portfolio of your projects, make sure that you don't have fancy graphics and all that, because there's a possibility that in your portfolio or in your design, okay, that you're going to send them, okay, along with your resume, there could be some graphics or chart or table which will fall through the ATS system. In other words, the ATS system will reject it. ATS system will not be able to read it, and you will get rejected. Okay, so it's very, very important that even in your portfolio, okay, at least the first portfolio that you're going to send them, or the list of projects that you're going to send them, okay, or your resume, it does not include any fancy table, fancy graphics, fancy charts, or fancy images. Okay, just text with a nice font. Okay, you can even you can use bullet points. Okay, but don't get too fancy. Okay, very simple bullet points are okay. No fancy bullets, because again, some ATS systems may not be able to handle it. So the goal here is to have simplicity. Okay, your resume should be very simple. Okay, simple in terms of not only the English, not only the description of your job, your experience, your skills, and all that, but it should be eye-catching. It should be nicely formatted. Okay, but it should be simple to read. Okay, it should not be filled with graphics or or difficult tables or things like that. Okay, no table, no graphics, nothing. Okay. Some people also ask whether they should include a photo or a picture of the person. You know what? I would say generally it's not a good idea to include the picture of a person, at least in US. In many cases, the ATS system may not even like that. Okay, it'll consider that as an image and it'll reject it. Okay, so try to avoid the photo of the person or your own picture. If you're sending a resume to an American company, okay, in the US. And again, have very, very simple, nice but simple resume. Okay, nothing complicated. Okay, in there. Okay, and you can even there are companies, and I won't mention their names, you can do Google search, that offer a ATS scan for your resume. Okay, some of them are free, some of them do a few things for free, and then they charge you. But there are quite a few companies out there that will take your resume and do a ATS scan, and they can even do an ATS scan and compare with the job description, okay, and tell you what are your chances of beating the ATS system, and what are your chances of at least getting to a HR manager, to a human being, okay, by beating the ATS system. All right, so those are the top 10 tips. And with that, I would like to wish you all the best. Again, please try to follow these 10 tips. You can't go wrong. I have been there myself. I know your pain. Okay, but if you follow these 10 tips, I can assure you that you'll be very, very successful. Okay, and you'll get that dream job. Okay, at the end of the day. If you like this, video, and if you like these 10 tips, please subscribe to my channel. Please turn on your notification, and please let me know what you think of these 10 tips. Okay, please send me your comments, and I'll try to respond as soon as possible. Okay, thank you again. Good luck. Have a good day, and be safe. Okay, all the best. Bye.